Hey there, gorgeous souls, and welcome to today's message. We're on day 11 of the Choosing Love Over Fear challenge that I set for myself. And today's message is really at the core of why I'm even doing this challenge. So I'm excited to share this one with you guys. And my hope is that it gets you looking at how you're choosing, because we're always at choice point, how you're choosing to show up and live your life and where it comes from, and therefore what path you're actually creating for yourself. So today's message, before I run out and hit the gym today, is to let your life be guided by what brings your system bliss and enjoyment. Okay, and so this kind of came through for me today. So today I work with the full moon, right? So the moon cycles, I work with the full moons. It's all about, releasing and letting go of that which doesn't serve you. And when the new moon comes along, I work at setting new intentions in my life. I use those cycles to just check in, to do my release work every single month, and to do my setting of intentions with the new moon every single month as well. I just use them as those guiding posts to make sure that I'm having those check-in points. And so today and this morning has been the full moon. And like I just mentioned, the full moon is a time where we can just reflect and look at our lives and go, what is no longer serving me? Right? Is there anything in my life that is, holding me back, a kind of an anchor to a life or a way of living that just doesn't serve me? And what would really serve me to just release, let go of in terms of my habits, my thoughts, my emotional states, any relationship dynamics that are holding me back, just ways of being in life that would support you. And today, what kind of came through for me, which was really interesting, was just how much, I can get into this place of putting undue pressure on myself to get things done then it just becomes about the getting things done kind of way of being. And I don't know if you can relate to that in your own life or not, but really what's important and what I'm really clarifying in my own life right now is to make sure that why I do something is coming from a place because of it actually expanding and opening my system to enjoy what I choose to do, versus it contracting and closing down my system and becoming something that I have to do rather than get to do. And the reason why this is so important is because all you have in your life is your current experience of it in this moment. You might be filling it up with memories of the past that are good or bad, or you might be filling it up with projections and imaginations for the future. But in reality, all you really have is your own personal experience right here, right now, in this very moment. And if you are guiding your life from a place of have-tos, right, and that by making that choice, it's actually contracting and closing down your system, putting you in fear, you're not actually living how you would choose, any of us would choose to live our lives. And so it becomes really necessary to tune into your own system, whether that's on a mental level, an emotional level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level, on an energetic level. We've got all these different access points to feel into our own system as to what is expanding and opening us versus contracting and closing us. All right. And so life is actually it's intended for you to experience real joy, enjoyment of all that you choose to do, bliss, awe, excitement, inspiration, love, like all of those, that happiness, that fulfillment. They're all signposts that you're making the right decisions for your own system, right? And you're guiding your life from the right place. when you are more often than not experiencing closeness, contraction, fear, regret, hatred, jealousy, anger, repression, suppression, like all these different emotions that more so close and contract you, it's a sure sign that you're making choices from the wrong place. And so a lot of us are doing that because we're simply not attuned to our own system, and we're depending on the external guidance that we get from the society at large, from our past experiences, from family, from anywhere where we're trying to fit in and belong. We're exporting or outsourcing the guidance for our lives based on who we think we should be or what we think we should do. And if you're experiencing more often than not closeness, contraction, fear, rather than openness, expansion, and love, it means that you might just be ignorant to your own system. And you're outsourcing the responsibility to what other people think you should do or how they think you should live. And your work is to actually attune to your own system so that you can start asking much more intelligent questions of yourself to guide you in every single choice that you make, so that you can actually live life as it is intended, which is to enjoy it, right? To enjoy every moment of this experience, to be open and aware to the reality of it in its fullness, right? And so a couple of different questions that have come through for me are, just guiding my life by, is this opening and expanding me, or is it closing and contracting me? And I don't know about you, you can try this on for yourself, but when I live from this place of making a real choice and committing to making a real choice towards those things that open and expand me versus close and contract me, the fear that actually comes up mainly for me is, the people that I'm in relationship with. Am I going to lose those connections? Is that going to trigger them negatively? Like, what's going to happen there? And then what's come through for me has been more so connected to a fear of loss. And so any of us who are very relationship focused, we can often succumb way over the top to guilt. And so this is just kind of me sharing some of my experience in the hope that somebody out there listening, it will resonate with you as well. But if you're somebody who struggles with guilt, directing your life from a place of inner alignment of what opens and expands you versus closes and contracts you can be really key to your awareness and growth journey. Because at the end of the day, we might have great intentions to stay in connection and relationship with those around us and not threaten their sense of security and certainty in who we are. And we can oftentimes sacrifice our connection and alignment to what is actually really healthy and aligned and expanding and opening for our system. We can oftentimes sacrifice that out of guilt based on how other people do receive us or how we perceive they would if we were more in alignment and choosing what's healthy for our system, sometimes at the expense of what is expected of us in those relationships. And so it is no journey for the faint-hearted by aligning every choice that you make from a place of, does this expand me and open me? It's a yes then. Or does it close me and contract me? That's just simply a no. That's a very courageous path, particularly for those of us who are very relationship focused and succumb a lot to guilt, which is oftentimes at sacrifice to what is healthy for our system. And so it's a journey, and it's a challenging one that will require your strength and your courage. But the truth is, any relationship that is directed by our guilty choices, not wanting to threaten others, and not really what's happening is you're not trusting in somebody else's capacity to handle you and your health, and make their own choices, right? We become overly responsible for them. And basically, from that place, if we choose another direction, if we choose to just align with what is healthiest for our own system, we actually have to have a trust that what is healthiest for us is going to be healthiest for the relationships that we're in as well. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather be in truly authentic relationships that support and nurture each of our well-being, whether or not that is what the other person, whether or not that's what would make the other person's existence easier in this moment or not, right? Otherwise, what are we settling for? We're settling for inauthentic connections at the expense of our personal well-being, all right? And that's not really a great relationship to be a part of. So rather than settling for connection, we want to aspire to higher quality of connection in relationship with all others. And the pathway to do so is to attune to your own system and guide your life in answer of yes to anything that opens and expands you towards love, bliss, enjoyment, gratitude, fulfillment, and say no to the things that close, contract, and put you in fear, anger, jealousy, all of those more so-called negative emotions, right? If you're living in those places, that's not how life was intended to be lived. You've got to, corny as it sounds, like find and follow your bliss, because that's how your life is meant to be attuned to, all right? And so that's really my message for you guys. I really have to run because I'm going to miss the gym in a minute. But so much love to each and every one of you guys. I just want to say hi. So Arissa's here. Good evening to you, or good morning here in Australia. And any Aussies watching, happy Australia Day. Happy to be an Australian. I'm not going to get into the politics of it all. That it's kind of crazy. Just enjoy, just be grateful for who you are, where you were born, and if there are things in Australia Day or in anything in life that you want to change or you want to have a voice for, that's okay. Just do whatever is bringing you enjoyment and bliss in your system. But do make sure that you can find the joy and the bliss and the gratitude for being the human being that you are, for being born wherever you've been born, and how you get to live in your existence. That's just my little message on there. But I'm choosing to bring gratitude for being Australian, and that's how I see Australia Day. All right. Love it. And Diana's here as well, and Syed, and Michael is here as well. So much love to each and every one of you guys. I really hope that today's message has supported you and served you and hit you in the heart in some way, and just reminded you to, check in with your own self. Are you doing things that open and expand you towards love, bliss, and fulfillment and enjoyment? Or are you doing things and living your life in such a way that it's closing, contracting you, putting you in fear? You've got to attune to your own system and let that be the barometer for your yeses and your nos in life. And I hope this inspires you to go on that journey a little further. All right, so much love to each and every one of you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Oh, hey Vanessa, catch the recording, and I hope you get a ton of value from it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.